Now we're back with the next game in this match. Yeah, well, where's the trashing here? Necromancer is the only one, which makes me think that Familiar's going to be pretty good, which makes me think you should open Potion Oracle here. Um, I don't think Necromancer trashing is enough trashing, particularly with the way that it works. So, yeah. So, Mike in the chat is saying in the previous game um, that he's playing the black market over Steward, which is part of why I don't like opening black market, but I especially don't like playing it in that situation. Trashing is just more important, and black market is eventually good, but that doesn't mean you want to play it right away. Like there were good cards on the board at all points, so you're not in a rush to I need to fish for something out of the black market because there's plenty of good things to get. So getting stuff out of the black market in a board like that is kind of lower priority. I like Oracle Potion here. Um, Mike goes Silver Potion, which is a lot worse at getting familiar. Um, and you even get to do this skip thing where you got to skip the opponent's potion. Like it's just a much better opening, I think. Um, yeah. So this looks really good for Seprix. He should take a city now, probably. Um, Not big fan of the second Tormentor. Possibly not a fan of how he played the Oracle either, given that he knew that this was, or he should have known this was the rest of the context of his deck. Oh, it's a okay. I'm totally backwards. No, this is good. This was a fine Tormentor from Seprix. I was thinking that he had the first one. It was Mike. So yeah, this makes sense. Mike should get a maybe another lab. Yeah. Oh, Seprix had. Oh, that was the next turn. I'm just getting a little bit confused on a lot of stuff here. Okay, trash this copper, you don't replace it, and you get another lab, or do you start to look at city or maybe crown? Um, it's probably early for city, right? Because there's border village and you're going to hit 6, so. Um, okay, familiar. Oracle just looking for money, so you keep this. You want to get another familiar, given that the way the game is split out. Um, yeah. So I think okay, that wasn't the worst zombie ever, but I think Seprix has a pretty good advantage. He want to get a Necromancer fairly soon if he can, though. Um, like I don't even know what Mike gets here. Like he only has one familiar, right? So he kind of needs. He's going to go for his 6 instead. He's going to get Border Village and I assume Border Village and something. But the math is just that uh, Oracle gets you to hitting your familiar a lot faster um, than silver. That's just true. I don't exactly know the exact math for Oracle, but if it was just a moat, which it's clearly just better than moat, in the situation, and you draw two, then you're going from 65.4 with potion silver to 77.02 with potion mode, uh, or like you never discard your own stuff, you never discard your opponent's stuff. So that's already like a 12 point, 11 and a half, 12 point jump. But because you can discard the opponent's potion, because you can discard bad cards and cycle yourself faster to make yourself increase your chance of getting familiar, it's definitely going to help you more than that. It's one of the better cards to open. So Seprix is now kind of achieving all his hopes and dreams. This should be probably another Border Village city. Um, he I think he's just massively ahead because of all these curses, right? Um, Now it still requires some more playing, and I haven't been paying as close of attention as I should for a little bit here. But yeah, Mike's thinking about not triggering the shuffle, which is reasonable. Gets an Oracle. Not sure about that. I think it would keep that if I were Seprix, but maybe not. Oh, he gets to Necromancer, so that's good for him. Um, his deck is really not great, but Mike's deck has a lot of curses in it, so yeah. Um, do you Necromancer first? Like, you want to play it as Mason every time, right? Um, did he not play it as, what did he play it as? Oh, he played it as Tormentor. There's a Tormentor in the trash. That's reasonable, I suppose. I still think I'd want to be playing it as Mason mostly, but you could think about Province. I think I'd still be inclined to go Border Village City. I don't. Um, um, yeah. So, um, I guess I could comment more on this, but I just don't know that there's that much going on. There's some choices on what you do with your necromancers, but Mike's just so far behind. It's hard to think of a lot. Um, I really think that the Oracle opening is just a big deal. It's obviously not going to work out for you every time, but it's, I think, just a much better opening than the silver opening. Um, he wants to necromancer as, what did he play there? I gotta scroll back down. Plays a necromancer as the mason and trash to copper. Sure, I think that's pretty good. Um, 9. I still think I'd be getting more border villages and cities. Um, you do. Um, it's probably a point where I'd start to be a little bit too worried about piles that I'd stop doing that and start taking provinces if I were Seprix, at least for a little while. But Yeah, so now they're discussing Outpost. I don't think Outpost is great. You may take it at some point, but City is going to help your turns more. Um, your deck isn't that great, right? You still have a bunch of junk that your Outpost turn, as Kaplane is saying in the chat, has a good chance of dudding, and so I am not super high on Outpost. It's something that I would start to think about around this point in Seprix's spot, but I wouldn't be necessarily just sold on it. You keep this because it has a city, but like, see, even this turn that was with a bigger hand isn't that far ahead. So now he's diluted, which means he can't buy an action. So I like the harem in that case, yeah. Okay, so Seprix can engineer playing the border village to draw the familiar, then necromancering to trash the curse here, um, which is pretty nice. Trashing lab is not really what you want to be doing. I think he should take border village city here. He needs the way that MikeChike can win is by making the game really short and then just throw your hands up and maybe something weird happens on a very lucky spin of the dice. I guess he's not taking Border Village in a way that he can hopes he gets one big city turn, but I'm a little bit skeptical of that. Miserable. Wow, that's actually a pretty good one at this point. Um, Gets another Necromancer, which is fine. Um, he's gonna play this as zombie. No, as a lab. Sure. Um, this is gonna be another Necromancer, I think. Friendly Locusts. Trash to copper for Seprix. Um, I don't. What's in the trash now? Okay. Well, so MikeChike is asking how did he find Curse before Mike, because Mike has so many more. Well, Seprix got to line it up. Yeah, exactly, off of an Oracle. So that's just, yeah, that was guaranteed. Um, Again, I maybe could or should be commenting more, but I don't think that there's just really not that much going on. Um, yeah, like Seprix is winning 5 ways to Sunday, and okay, he has to be a teensy bit concerned about these piles running out badly, but whatever. He should buy a province here, safety province. Uh, like whatever you do, don't get the city because like, do you want to lose? That is a way you can lose. Um, Definitely don't get the city, but also don't get the border village because like that's also a way to lose, right? They play city and then they mason something into a border village, gain a city, and then go off again. Which is kind of why I'm not sure about emptying the city as what it was, but you should definitely buy a province here for safety. Um, like your deck is better, you're winning the long game. Why make it a short game? You definitely, definitely get province. I really dislike this line from Seprix because now Mike can start to do a lot of really good things. And while Seprix is probably winning on his next turn, like this is the way to open the door to having Mike have a really good turn and be able to maybe win. Um, like the only way Seprix is losing is if this city pile runs out and Mike gets to do something good and big. Um, so this is just a terrible play. Um, because now if he can get two border villages gaining duchies uh, and another duchy, then he wins right now. And if he even if he can't do that, um, like as they're starting to point out in the chat, uh, then one dud from Seprix, which is very possible, makes a difference. This is wow. So this is going to be another imp play. He's checking for wins right now. I don't think there is one. Um, so I think that should be Mason. Let me check what's in the trash. Uh, he played it as City. Maybe that's okay? Whatever to these, like it doesn't. Seprix's next turn will be able to win him the game if he gets one, I think, given what's in his hand right now. Um, but I'm not sure he's going to get one. I'm really not sure he's going to get one. I don't think he is. This is 5, 7, 13. This is the game, right? This is the game. Um, this is 8. This is 15. Necromancer. There's a Tormentor in the trash, right? Yeah, yeah. So if he sees this, yeah. So the line here is Necromancer is Tormentor for the money. Then, well, I guess maybe there's some um, hexes that are helpful enough that that would screw it up. But basically, um, he can play Necro as Tormentor, and then that gives him to 9, and then there's 8 more money here, and he can go Border Village Duchy, Border Village Duchy by Duchy. Um, yeah, yeah, this was a huge mistake from Seprix. Border Village Duchy, Border Village Duchy, Duchy. Yeah, Seprix gone done threw that one away. Um, it needed a good turn from Mike, but you let him have one good turn and win the game. So that was just poor play to empty that pile. It was just like, how can my opponent, how can I lose? And this is the way. And then he walked into it. So, real tough, real tough. I mean, I don't want to be too critical. It is hard to judge some of these things sometimes, but yeah, yeah, that was just a mistake from Seprix. He should just get a province. He should just get a province. Um, Border Village Outpost I don't like as much just because it's a little bit less safe. The outpost turns aren't always great, um, and uh, just the province is safer. But what can you do? Okay, Gardens with Delve is kind of interesting. Um, Black market. There's not a lot of draw here. There's not any draw here. Could be in the black market. But I'd be like very tempted to delve garden stuff. Of course, that's what I like to do. Um, I guess I didn't stop this recording, so it's going to be two games in a row on the same video, but that's okay. You do do, you do do, you do 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 do. Okay. Um, yeah, I actually think it's pretty good here because there's no draw, which means it's going to be hard to overcome that. You can get really big delves up and then go for some combination of gardens and provinces. Uh, I don't. Um, yeah. So the plan that I'm talking about here, I should tell to the people listening and not just in the chat. You either get a swindler or a black market. I'm not sure which is better. My gut would be swindler, but eh. Um, and then you just delve a lot, and you just delve a lot, and you don't buy coppers from the start. I don't think because you want to be able to buy provinces, but you delve a lot. You don't pop your lamp, but I don't think you need to. You just delve a lot. You get 8 money, you delve 4 times. You get 10 money, you delve 5 times, and then at some point you say, okay, well I'm going to get 8 money. I'm going to delve twice and get a gardens. I'm going to delve 3 times and get a gardens, and or at some point you can get provinces. You score a lot of points. Um, and the black market needs to have something really good to overcome that. The swindlers aren't going to hurt you that much. They can turn your threes into, I don't know, none of the threes are that bad. They should probably turn them into lookouts because lookouts aren't very good for the deck that has a million silvers. But um, yeah, so this is not what they're doing, of course. So I should get back to the actual game at hand. They've both gone for some thinning and the swindlers. So um, I don't think. So yes, it's true that that doesn't ever activate lamp, but I don't think the activating lamp is that important here. Maybe you can incorporate some way to try to activate lamp into this game plan. Like you start by trying to activate lamp and then move into the other, but I don't exactly see it. I think I would go for swindler double delve here and try to play that game plan. Um, you're just going to score a lot of points. And unless the black market has a ton of points in it, I think that that's going to be good. The black market could have just something super, super strong. Um, I just don't think, unless your black market pulls are really good, that you're going to be able uh, to overcome um, the big province and I'd love to play this board with someone, by the way. Um, Delve actually just it ramps up pretty pretty fast. But okay, we'll see what they're doing. Talk about the hypothetical more later. Um, well, that's very unfortunate for Mike. Um, I'm not exactly sure what these ghost towns are doing. I guess they help with black markets. Again, at every point here, basically, I just want to start delving. Triple silver is generally better for money than a gold anyway. Um, so I would go for that. Unless you think you're not playing a money deck. But I don't like you need to pull draw, and then I don't think there's enough actions or whatever to go for something else. Like certainly, if you pull well enough from the black market, then you can defeat what I'm talking about. But I think that the average card is not good enough for that to be correct. Um, I don't know. He wanted this in hand instead of on top of his deck. It's not actually that clear to me why the ruling would be that way, but whatever. I mean, I'm actually somewhat confused. Um, as to why you don't top deck something there anyway, but okay. Okay, this ghost town should not turn into another ghost town. It should probably turn into. I think I would have given Lookout, but what do I know? Especially because I don't know the quality of the decks well enough. Here again, I would think I would quad delve. Um, the thing with the turbo delve strategy, by the way, is that you can also get more threes. You get, if you have five, you can get silver and swindler, silver and black market, as opposed to just silver and silver. Because you're not buying those extra coppers that soon. Your deck's going to be very thick, so you're not going to collide very often. Um, so I I think that's good, but um, well, anyway, this is a lot of terminals for Seprix to draw, but he's going to be able to play two of them, so he's probably okay. Um, Again, I'm not commenting very well on the game at hand just because the idea of all this delve stuff just is so intriguing to me that I'm getting too sidetracked on. I'm going to try to comment on the actual game a bit more. Catapult seems pretty good. Lets you trash your curses. I guess Forager also lets you do that. Lets you trash a silver, which you can easily gain to make them discard attack and curse them. The discard attack is almost certainly going to be the most relevant thing here. You don't want a 2, so you just play Black Market. Yep. Fairgrounds is a lot of points. A lot of points. But he didn't want it. I think I would have wanted it. Torturer, very good though. So that does make sense. Um, and it's less about the attack on Torturer. I mean, the attack is fine. Um, Actually, the attack's pretty good for a while because they're not really that many curses. But I think the draw is just the bigger deal because there's just no draw available here. This is interesting because like any of those are okay, but yeah, I think the governor's probably best. This is a lot of ghost towns from Mike. Um, Not that that's a bad thing necessarily. Um, you could discard here, I guess. Not the hugest fan of it. This should get turned into. Yeah, I like giving him lookout, given where he's at. Uh, wow, foragers are worth 3. Is there a gold in the trash? Oh, there's the lamps. Of course. Of course, I hadn't thought about that. That's interesting. Um, but okay. So there, we get the discard attack off. Seprix has ghost towns in place, so he definitely wants to keep his actions. Um, City Quarter is kind of draw. I guess it's basically draw, but okay. Um, I don't think you discard anything here, despite your big hand size. Okay, and then you probably I would swindle before I black market, just so I have a little more information. Because what I swindle isn't going to make much of a difference. I don't know. None of these seem good enough to me? Question mark. I guess you could get a fiver here since you probably want to buy a province this turn. I think. Like I think you want to buy a province, but he doesn't. Forager turns into lookout. Yeah. So this is a province and a plaza. Okay. This is like a lot of villages for not much draw from both of them, but okay, that's okay. I guess Seprix has a decent number of terminals, even if it doesn't have a lot of draw. You do that. Yup. Um, okay. What would you do for a Klondike bar? Um, that's some hashtag not actually sponsored content there for you. Uh, Militia seems pretty good, although it's uh, kind of in conflict with the catapult, but it goes well with the governor. I don't know. Do you upgrade with this governor? Okay, yeah, gain makes a lot of sense. You're not going to buy anything here. You just play your 3 ghost towns. I don't know who's ahead. I guess Mike is probably ahead. I think Mike's deck is a little bit better, and Seprix, of course, has a points lead, but does he want to do something different with his governor? Is he going to upgrade the curse? No? Oh, we bought a copper. Huh. I don't think I like that. You got curses. Why do you need to buy a copper? Um, the silver's interesting. You can't play this forager. 3 money is not worth the ghost town play, I don't think. You're turning your ghost town into a something else. They both want coppers. This just seems very weird to me. Um, it makes more sense for Mike because he does have the catapult as that person whose name I can't. Apostolos ruler is saying in chat. And wow, actually, I guess Mike's draw is a lot better than I realized. At least when he gets to city quarter like that. So yeah, it's a lot more reasonable there. But um, His ghost towns are wonky. And by wonky, I mean they're out of phase with each other. This curse isn't going away anytime soon. He doesn't have a forager anymore. Okay. So now ghost towns are gone. Lookouts are at 4. Curses are at 4. Pile endings not imminent, but they could start to creep into my mind around this point if I were playing this game. I think none of these is good enough. Well, certainly the Silk Roads are worth 0, so that's not good. But I don't think that the dungeon and the oracle were good enough. So, okay. He probably thrown... Oh, he does have a forager. And he foraged the lookout rather than the curse, which seems very wrong to me. Very, very wrong to me. Because, well, the point difference, and the lookout also helps his city quarter. I don't understand why you would forage the lookout rather than the curse. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe I'm just missing something. I don't know. So I also think I probably would have gone province there over plaza, but he could double delve here. This is quite possible. Seprix, this is nice for him to be able to draw here. Not sure about this play order. I think I would have played plaza first. This way he wants the black market, which he can get. Okay, this plaza should go into a... I would have given bureaucrat. The game is ending soon enough that the gardens is worth enough points. The patrician is fine. You should delve and get the province, sure. So I still think that Mike is significantly ahead here, but I don't like giving the gardens. I think I would give the bureaucrat. Although he's drawing enough of his deck that maybe I'm wrong there. I'm actually not 100% sure that the plaza isn't the worst 4 at the moment with all the draw and all the actions he already has. But, okay. Throne Room, the Forager, trashing the curse, and probably the gardens. Wow, they're worth 4 now. Oh, because he remodeled gold. Yeah, wow, that's good. So copper goes into a curse. Now I'm really looking at piles quite intently. Black market, he has 12. He's going to have 15 money. This should probably be a Horn of Plenty because it will be a province next turn. Wow, is he trashing the gold? I don't know. Maybe that's right. Maybe it's probably right. It's just not what I was thinking. Again, I'm not sure I would play 3 ghost towns there. I'd be inclined to do 2. And you just discard here as Seprix for sure. Whoa, I don't like that play. I think he has to buy a gardens. What did he buy? Another black market? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that was this game. We've got 1 game left if I recall correctly. I'm going to take a quick break and then come back for the last one.